Welcome back to the Movieverse, your best place for movie and TV show content. I am your co-host, Benji Babe, Benji Boothing, BMT. And this is your other co-host, Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Leamer,
KL.
Yes, sir. Another week, another movie review, and another Movieverse video full episode. Today we will be talking about Wuthering Heights, however it's pronounced. Actually,
I don't even know.
I don't fully know exactly how it's pronounced. I've heard people say it different ways.
I like saying Wuthering, but Wuthering sounds good too.
Well, Wuthering Heights. I think you had to be like
Wuthering Heights. That's a good point. You don't want to sound like that. Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights.
Sounds like WOO.
Let us know in the comments how to pronounce.
Yeah.
Wuthering Heights.
I'm not a literate person.
No. But before we get started today, let's go ahead and crack open a cold one. Do this every week. Sending good vibes. Getting ourselves chilled out. And I totally just spilled.
Tight.
Oh, I see you. Breaking Bad over here. Spilled it myself.
Guys, Ben spilt. Put a F in the chat.
Well, Kendrick, as always, before we get started, tell them what they need to do.
Please like and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. We got a bunch of fun shorts over there about tons of different subjects. We got our full reviews there. And check us out on TikTok. We put a ton of clips over there. And then, we're on all the other social media platforms like Instagram, X. We're on the podcast platforms like Apple and Spotify. So make sure you check us out there as well if you just want the audio version.
There you go. That's true. And we've got these we've got a lot of new decorations.
We got some new things up here.
New decorum.
So take a look at an old video compared to this one.
Yeah.
You'll see some differences.
We're getting towards a full setup, you know what I mean? So Kendrick, you can go and set your Coke there too, you know? See how that looks?
Boom.
There you go.
We're not sponsored by Coke.
No, not at all. Maybe someday. We'll see.
I hope.
Anyways, Wuthering Heights. So a little synopsis. Obviously, this is based off of a very classic book, like a book that's been around for a long time.
1800s.
Yeah, and it's kind of, the book is like this tragic take on love, and it's not really like a fun story in any sort of way. Not that this is either, but this is definitely a new take on the story with a different ending. Yeah, some different takes on the characters, so it's not the exact same as the book. That's one thing I would say before we get into the review. If you're somebody who has read the book, this is going to be a little different. And from what I've heard, that plays negatively into the movie.
Seems like it.
Anybody that's read the book, for the most part, seems to not like the movie. Yeah. Or seems to have something against the film. Whereas people that haven't read the book seem to be more in favor of the film. Not
seems that way.
In total necessarily, but definitely the people that seem to like, anybody that does like the film seems to have not read the book.
And we haven't read the book, just to let you guys know. So this is coming from two people who have just seen the movie. I don't even think we really knew the story at all.
No,
I still don't actually know what the book's completely about. So
no, I've just heard a couple things about.
So based it all off the trailer really, and then watching it. That's pretty much all I'm basing.
I just know that in the book, Heathcliff's the one that dies. So he dies of. Did you not know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, he dies of like
a broken heart.
Basically.
There you go.
Actually, after like years of vengeance towards the family and stuff, it's a lot darker and more tragic in a separate way. This movie is extremely tragic as well.
Yeah, it is. You know what Dad told me today I didn't know about? Is apparently the author, it's like three sisters who all were authors, and one of the sisters wrote Jane Eyre, which you've obviously heard of, right? Yeah. And I guess, they're a group of like three sisters that all wrote books that were famous back then, I guess. I'm like, that's kind of insane. I didn't know they were a group of sisters.
That's actually crazy.
And one of them wrote Jane Eyre.
It's kind of an OP family,
and apparently that's a dark story too, I think, or something.
It is. I mean, all of them seem to be
wonder what was going on with those sisters, but
I hope they're okay.
In the 1800s, they were really popping.
Hopefully their family's all right.
I hope.
It's definitely a tragic story for sure, and Jane Eyre is too. Yeah. So.
Starring Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, Eye Candy. I think guys and girls are both happy with the casting of this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just a dark, twisted romance.
Yes.
And
I don't know if I want to say too much else about it, synopsis wise. I mean, really, it's a revenge story. So we'll get into our thoughts and our review.
Yes, we will.
As always, about 10 to 15 minutes, we'll talk about the movie. We'll talk about what we liked first. Then we'll talk about what we were mixed on. And then we'll talk about what we disliked or didn't like about the movie. After that, we'll give you a score out of 5 out of 10 on the film. We'll rank it for you on our year for 2026 movies that we've seen. And then we ask a question that we ask every episode, which is,
does it belong in the movie multiverse or in a forgotten timeline to never be watched again?
Exactly. Do we want to place it on a shelf to collect dust forever and forget about it? Or do we want to keep it around, something to watch again? So that's kind of our ending question after we give all of our thoughts. We do that every week on every full movie review that we do.
Yes, we do.
So let us know your guys' opinion on that. Is this a movie, if you've seen it, that you would keep around? Or is it a movie that you want to forget about, never want to see again? We'd love to know. Let's go ahead and get started into it. So we always start with the liked category. I think there's going to be a lot of that here for both of us, just to preface this review.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start? Do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay.
You start us off.
I mean, genuinely, not trying to add tons of sugar here or simp, but this is one of the most beautiful films I have ever seen. From production in general, like cinematography, shots. I know. Saying cinematography in the film bro world has gotten a little old. Everybody says it a lot. But like,
we look out for it though.
Genuinely, you still got to look out for it. You still got to give it credit when it's due. And this is genuinely one of the best looking films I've ever seen. And then you mix that with amazing music and an amazing score. I know you said this, for you, it's one of the best scores you've heard in recent time.
It is. Hands down.
I felt very similar to that. And then overall, just the overall vibe of everything, the way it's done, the sets, the locations, the designs, the clothing, everything works extremely well. I genuinely don't know how, even if you didn't like the story at all, you could still not, like, I genuinely told myself halfway through the movie I would never be bored watching this movie, just alone because I was always fascinated with what I was looking at and what I was listening to. The Charlie XCX music is thrown in all the right places. It works extremely well in the scenes that they throw it into. And then, the scores are really good. So, as far as a production value, that's the first thing I would say.
Oh, yeah. It's a standout.
It's definitely a standout, and it's its best marker. Even though I liked almost every other category here with this movie, that's the standout to me. And I was expecting that because watching the trailer made me feel that way.
True.
I still remember when the trailer came out, I had Kendrick watch it with me because I was like, this is one of the best trailers I've seen in a while.
The
music vibe of it and the feel of the trailer mixed with all the shots I was seeing in the trailer, those in an IMAX screen were totally worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So
100%.
Can't wait to rewatch it again just for those aspects. Do you want to give some other stuff you liked?
Yeah, I mean, other stuff I liked. I mean, I also loved the production a lot. I agree that that's the standout for me. Even though there's a lot I like about the movie, but honestly, beautifully shot. Like, there is just so many shots in here that, like, I sat there, like, almost jaw dropped because I'm like, that looks so gorgeous. Production wise, they just nailed it. Like, it was out of the park. It's above and beyond.
Home run,
and obviously most movies have good cinematography, like you said, so that's why it's kind of becoming a thing. But when you notice it going like above and beyond, that's when you got to point it out.
Genuinely, when it's one of the best you've seen, at least in a while.
And like the color palettes were immaculate, the sets were immaculate, perfect. Like the sets were so good. No, the costumes were so good.
The location of
wherever
the
they
cottage
filmed
house
this,
or whatever
perfect.
too. I don't know if you noticed, but like the like poorhouse or whatever, their first house, where the beginning of the movie takes place, was like built into the mountainside. I don't know if you noticed that. That was really cool.
I know.
So like inside the home too, there's like a room where it's literally a mountain on one of the walls, and I'm like, that's so sick.
Yeah, even the rich home looks perfect. Like there's just like every shot you're just like honestly loving what you see.
Yes.
Which is crazy and really hard to do, I feel like. So that's sick. And then like score and music is one of my favorites that I've heard in a long time. There's something in the score and the music that is like haunting, but also beautiful, but also like tragic. Like it hits all these emotions.
What I would say is vibes. Like it hits the vibes all perfectly.
Like you're just feeling kind of this whirlwind of emotion every time you hear the score play. Like in any scene. It's crazy to me. Whether it's a steamy scene, whether it's a sad scene.
That's why I always say that, like, I think the score is a way to elevate a film to a level.
And then you mix in making it look so beautiful with that score. It's like I could sit there just watching it for that, even if I didn't like the rest of it. But I did.
I'd agree.
I'd say other standouts here are obviously Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi.
Really liked them.
I had no doubt they wouldn't deliver. Like they're both great actors. They both kill it in every movie they do. Think they both were great for this role. Yeah. Especially the kid actors that played them too did great.
Seeing Owen Cooper back was sick.
Yeah,
too.
Seeing those kids, I did believe those would turn into Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi.
I did, yeah. And they honestly felt like the same person.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Like there's a shot even of like the profile of the little girl's face, just her nose and lips area, and it like looked
her eyes.
I was looking maybe at Margot Robbie,
same,
but then it zoomed out and it was the little girl.
Yeah,
and I was like, and that's really cool, especially for the moment that's in.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, they picked young actors that really work with these roles.
They
really
did,
well.
And there's a good chunk of the movie with those young actors, so that was really dope. But yeah, Margot Robbie, like, it's just, you know, one of the best actresses we have today, of course.
Yeah, she's
never
fantastic.
have not enjoyed her in any role I've seen her in.
She's fantastic.
And she's good at playing the tragic role, but also kind of the goody too. She was kind of the wild, you know, like female who's trying to go be crazy and all those things. She just did it so well. And then Jacob Elordi was great at just being the type of dude he needed to be, as far as someone, the way he grew up and kind of becoming, I don't know why Jacob Elordi kind of plays these roles where he's like honestly mistreated in so many ways. He's always mistreated in all his roles.
Very good at it, though.
A mistreated guy who turns out to be little on the side of being kind of having those affect who he becomes in his future, I'd say.
Yeah. He's
and he did
very good at it.
Did that
That's
here?
The thing. He does it so well. The moody, bad boy,
moody bad boy,
gentleman, like mixed bag,
and he literally is just like gross, like kind of bad boy at first, and then he turns into full on like the most like prestigious looking man, and like I was just like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
The glow up's crazy they do for him in the movie. It's insane. It's an insane glow up.
I was like, his initial look, I'm like,
I thought people would start clapping. That's kind of what it felt like. When he first shows up, you're like,
even just the moment of the scene is so perfect. The way the music kicks in, she's running after him to find him, and then
his outfit, everything about it, you're just like, all right, I'm gonna clap.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, so much about it like hits in that way. Is there more you want to say you like about it?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you touched on Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
I genuinely walked out of it not knowing who else I could put in those roles, which is a compliment.
Yeah.
I think they did it for Fennel's look on the film. Because I know some people would be like, that's not who I imagine playing these characters if you read the book. Sure. But for Fennel's take on this story and the characters that she was portraying, because I know they're a little different from the book, if you step outside of that and say, even if you've read the book, okay, for what Fennel's going for here and the characters she's writing here, those are like perfectly casted roles. I don't know anybody else that I would put in those roles that could do a better job. That's the thing. I'm not saying anybody couldn't. I'm just saying I don't, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you other people that could be put into those roles and do them the same way that Elordi and Robbie did and provide the same vibe and effect to the roles. If that, did I say that well?
I think that's great. I agree with that.
So, yeah, and then I think other than that, I would just say what else I liked was the story because, and I'm glad that I honestly, people might hate me for this, and I know it's not the same story as the book or same third act as the book or whatever, because I haven't read it and I've heard just some things about the ending.
Okay.
But what I will say is this is the ending I like. I don't want the other ending because genuinely this ending hit. Yeah. And I didn't expect it. Throughout the whole movie, I was like, I'm enjoying everything I'm seeing. I'm loving everything I'm seeing, but I am at like a 3.5 or a 4 throughout a lot of the movie. But it wasn't in a bad way. It was more of like okay, I just can't come up with an ending in my mind that feels like it would pay off in a 4.5 out of 5 way. That's the only thing. I was like, okay, every ending I can come up with for this movie doesn't quite feel like something I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that was bugging me throughout the film is I was like, okay, with these characters, it feels like something I've seen before. And even though it's beautiful in its own way and it's acted really well in its own way, and not that I wasn't still enjoying it, I was just also like, okay, I'm not feeling like impacted in any sort of unique way though yet. Like there wasn't anything that's really unique about it for me besides how beautiful it looked and how it was. And when the twist hits, I haven't been affected by a twist that bad in a long time, to the point where I was actually re-questioning everything I'd seen in the movie. Because when the twist happened, I was like, wait, whoa. I was like, oh, without spoiling, I was basically just like, oh, okay, wait, so she's this, and
I know.
And these aren't real. And then I was like, like it made me, I was questioning everything that I'd seen, and I was piecing everything together. It had me literally grasping for straws. Like I was just trying to figure out and piece everything together while the twist happened. And then when it all connected in my head, it just wrecked me. Like I was just emotionally destroyed. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is, I know this is a very divisive movie and a lot of people didn't like it, but in our theater, everybody that I could see around me was crying.
Felt it.
Yeah,
100%.
I everybody, and there was a lady above us that was in the top corner of this huge movie theater, ginormous IMAX movie theater, and she was sobbing. And I don't know if I've heard anybody sobbing before like that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was. I mean, it's to the point of like she's weeping.
Yeah.
And then I could hear her mumbling like, "I hate this movie." It was just funny things. And then as she was walking
when the
out
credits
of the theater,
roll too,
she was like,
still,
"F this movie."
You're still feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those movies where in the credits roll you don't really want to move.
Yeah.
You're kind of just
you're stuck in it for a second. Like, oh wow.
I even saw a guy right next to my wife who was there definitely on like a date with his girl. And the whole movie, he was having some of the same reactions that like most guys were, where they were like, "Oh, that's gross," or "Oh wow, that's extreme," or "That's hot," like all those different types of reactions that Fennel gives you. And then when it hit and the twist hit and everybody was crying, I was like, I got to see if this guy's crying. And I look over at him and he's like wiping away tears, but he's doing it in such a like nonchalant way, like trying not to. Yeah. So I just thought it was really cool that like this movie really did affect everybody. So I thought that was great.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think if I had to say anything else I really liked, I would say I think a lot about this movie, it was actually destined for me not to like it, and it did work, which is crazy. And I think that's more of why I liked it, because honestly, like the more, even based on the trailer, although I did love how it looked, I think this movie easily could have became a really just artsy sexual film that would have just pissed me off with no story. Yeah. Would have been like 3 hours. Would have been obviously going for an Oscar.
I think was what was keeping me at like a 3.5 throughout the movie, was because I was feeling very reserved about whether the movie was really going to do anything impactful.
Yeah. True. And that's a good point. And I think a lot of these kinds of movies that try to go for this, like 9 out of 10 times, I hate them. Like I hate movies that just want to be artsy, look good, and then just have tons of meaningless, like sex that you don't understand why it's there. Yes. Where the story doesn't really care much about the story, but it's supposed to be this really, really deep thing. Like screw that. I hate those kinds of movies. And this movie doesn't do that. I think it actually went, and it's a very interesting direction, but it's like, I know hearing about the story a little bit where I'm like, oh yeah, like they're going to be a little steamy. They're going to be like having this kind of toxic relationship. I was like, I don't know.
I know that you haven't seen Saltburn, right? So you didn't have a lot to expect from Emerald Fennell, but like I seen Saltburn, so I was extra worried because like I was like, okay, Fennell does really go for this shock factor thing, and Saltburn didn't work for a lot of people because it was too much shock factor. Yeah. Like for me, it didn't. I wasn't fully hit by Saltburn because even though I loved like the twist at the end, I was like, it was just a little too much of like this shock factor-ish stuff, like this artsy shock factor that just sometimes that pisses me off, like you said. So I was reserved throughout the movie because I was like, you're getting a ton of Emerald Fennell shock factor type stuff throughout the film, even though it's just gorgeous and amazing to watch and look at. You're still getting a lot of that, and I was genuinely worried that by the end of the film, I'd be like, okay, that's all I got. Yeah, but the third act really changed.
And I did expect that from trailers and everything. So I'm glad that this story actually made me feel a lot of things, and I think that it is a very good story. I think a lot of people don't think so, and I guess we can get into that later about why it's so divisive. But to me, like I said, I was fully expecting it not to work, and it worked. And I think that it had really good themes in it, especially for that time period. And I think that it really nailed well, like revenge and like a little bit of the lustness and a little bit of like the craziness you can get involved in your life. Like what these people would have been involved in back then with like royalty and with trying to be richer and all these sort of themes that I think played so great.
In a way I haven't really seen.
Yeah, even in the way they're raised and the way. Yeah, all of it I thought was actually, there's so many deep themes to get here, and it actually ended up being really deep, but in a great way. Where like I'm like, that actually makes sense. It's not just trying to be artsy. Like it's actually telling a pretty effective story, and the way it wraps everything up, I thought was beautiful, and like it made me cry. And I think they did the right callbacks. Things came full circle in great ways, and it is a tragedy. So it's like it nailed all that beautifully to me, and that's why I have to go so high on my score for this movie. And that's why I like so much about it, because the story did end up really working for me, which is shocking, and I didn't think it would, and it did.
Again, I was so reserved throughout the majority of the movie. I really was, and I was holding myself back in some ways. That's why I'm excited to see it again, because I was... it is one of those movies where I wasn't fully affected by Saltburn, and I watching the movie, I'm like, okay, it's like, it's good, it's interesting, I'm not bored at all ever throughout the movie. Yeah, and it's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen, and it sounds amazing, right? So I'm like locked in technically. but I was still almost like, yeah, I'm just worried I'm not going to get hit by this. And then, yeah, that third act pays off really well. So that's what we can get into is the mixed category now. We talked a lot about what we liked. These next two categories will be pretty quick, I think. But mixed wise, I think that people are just going to feel mixed about the story, because I think if you're somebody who's attached to the book version, it's drastically different ending. So yeah, there's going to be people mixed about that. I think that's one thing to know going into it. But I think the other thing is going to be just people not for some reason connecting with it. Yeah,
which seems to be a chunk of people.
And that's just surprising to me, because
I know I connected with it.
It worked so well.
Granted, it's a little bit odd, right? Because it's like you have whatever adopted, technically like brother but not brother, like adopted boy comes in. Like, it's not a story you really have heard of, to be honest.
No.
In some ways you have, but in some ways you haven't.
It's very unique.
So I think it's pretty unique, and I think
people don't connect with it maybe in
and it's steamy. It's pretty steamy.
Because maybe I think the Emerald Fennell stuff in it may turn some people off. That's the only other thing I would say is you do need to go into the movie just expecting that like Emerald Fennell is going to throw in her flavor, which is you're going to have some spiciness, but her intimacy and her spiciness is very
done well,
but but what I meant, so yeah, it worked for us. But like, I mean, for some people it may not, because there may be some things about the way she does scenes and shots that seem a little maybe uncomfy to people, is I guess what I'm going after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because her flavor and style is very like shock factor still. She likes to do things in an extreme way, but I thought she held it back a little bit more than like in Saltburn. Saltburn feels very extreme and doesn't feel like she's ever holding back. In this, you're going to get a lot of moments that you're going to laugh and be like, wow, that's crazy. That's outrageous. That's so out of pocket.
Yeah, true.
But I feel like she holds it back enough that it's like it's just funny and like quirky, but in the right ways. Like, but it's definitely, so like it's going to be steamy, and it's going to be really steamy in moments.
Yeah.
But like they never show any nudity.
Yeah.
There's never any nudity. Sick. And it's just intimate, and it's in this old fashioned kinky kind of way, but it works really well. But maybe for some people that like extra kinky side of it and that extra Fennell touch and flavor may not work. That's
valid.
I guess my thought.
And I think maybe people just want more of a generic film. Like, this isn't very generic, I would say.
It's not. No.
Maybe the most casual goer just wants a very generic romance from the 1800s or something.
Type 1800
movie. That ain't this one. I think it is going for some deep themes, and I think if you're not down for that, then maybe you'll have less fun.
So what's funny to me is like, and this is why I will make the statement that I think this will be a staple of its time. I do think that it's divisive, sure, but because it's so divisive, there's a lot of people out here that really love this movie, and I think it will be something like The Notebook that people talk about for a long time. Yeah. The reason I say that though is people forget that I haven't even seen The Notebook, and I know this, but people forget that The Notebook was very divisive too in a lot of ways. There's still a lot of people that like certain things about The Notebook, or didn't connect with it, or thought it was too what's the word? Like, I heard people that would say it was just too, I can't think of the word, like too much at times, or like too fantasy driven, or or the characters weren't relatable, things like that. I think with any romance movie that takes risks and isn't just its normal self in its normal genre is going to have people that don't like certain decisions, or don't like the way certain things are played out, or don't like characters, or don't like certain shots. So like, I feel like that's going to hold this movie higher though, because I do think there's a lot of people that didn't like it, but there's a lot of people that are really going to hold fast to this movie and like be like, oh no, I loved that film. I think it's so fun. I think it's so good. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just know it's very mixed, right? Like, yeah, we really liked it, but then when I hopped on Letterboxd to do my review, a lot of my mutuals did not like it at all.
I mean, you said it too, but I was shocked. I
was very shocked.
Didn't expect to.
Yeah, like a lot of people that don't like it really don't like it, and I just for me it was very hard to understand that, but. Yeah, I know there's people that feel that way. If you feel that way, please let us know.
It's turning into a hot take, which is crazy.
I know. Anything you didn't like?
Nothing I can say I didn't like. Just stuff I could understand being mixed.
Me too.
There was nothing I watched that I didn't like personally.
Same.
But yeah, I do think that there will be some people that are mixed or don't enjoy certain aspects of the kinkiness of the intimacy, or just her. She does do some disturbing shots, but that's just her style, and that's what makes it fun to me. Is like you get this. Yeah. It's a fun style, and it's a unique style.
Totally.
it's the stuff you get in the trailers. Like I remember the first teaser trailer was just very Emerald Fennell, and it was very weird. That's why I was like, geeky, and so you still get those shots, but like,
oh yeah, but it's
like that shot of the bread, like,
oh true,
you still get stuff that is very weird.
True.
So you're gonna have casual moviegoers that watch this, and whenever those moments happen, they're gonna be like,
and they make it work for the story, which is great, and it also just brings so much more to the table too. So thankfully, I'm glad that it has great production and does bring a good story and good acting, all these sort of things. So
I can't wait to watch it again. So
yeah,
I genuinely have been thinking about it all weekend. I'm really
I've thought about it a lot too.
Yeah. So scores out of 5 out of 10. So for me, it was a 4.5 out of 5, 9 out of 10. It is my number 1 on the year.
Okay.
So,
for me, it's a 4.5 out of 5, and it is also my number 1 of the year.
There you go. For you, let's see, you have it right behind the musical.
No, I have
above the musical.
Above the musical.
And then for me, I have it above People We Meet on Vacation, which I still need to show you. So.
Yeah.
Love that. And People We Meet on Vacation, it was a close call for me, actually. I think that
cool.
this movie's just a more memorable, risk-taken movie for me, so it's one I'm going to want to praise a little bit more.
I think if you like movies a lot, it's like, this movie's got so much to like if you like
really
movies.
Does.
And that's why I think casual goers maybe won't respect those things.
That's also why I'm so shocked that film bros aren't loving it.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, it's got so much
for
to
film
eat
bro,
up.
it's got total things that you would love.
Up.
So, I don't know.
Anyways, there's our thoughts on it. Question that we ask every time, is this a movie that we want to keep in the movie multiverse, or do we want to throw it away? Definitely keep it.
I'm keeping it.
For sure.
I would happily rewatch it again.
In the romance genre right now. So
No, thoroughly loved it.
There you go. There's our thoughts on Wuthering Heights. As always, please share your thoughts, comments below in the comment section. Let us know what you thought, even if you disliked it and disagree with us on anything. We always love to know. Never defensive. We may call you out on something if it's dumb, but all in fun, right?
All in fun.
And if you haven't, please like and subscribe. We're on all platforms. If you like listening to podcasts, we're on Apple, Spotify, all those platforms. But if you like watching, obviously on YouTube. And then, we got tons of clips that'll be coming out on Instagram, TikTok. So
catch us for the next review.
There you go. Thanks for all your support. We'll talk to you soon.